speed, precision, and an engineering obsession that borders on unhealthy. German cars have given us everything from luxury lounges on wheels to track weapons that make you question your life choices and even your own bank account. Let's start with the one whose drivers apparently think turn signals are optional. BMW loves to remind everyone that they're the ultimate driving machine. It's practically their family motto at this point. But here's the funny part. When they started in 1916, they weren't even making cars. Nope, they were busy cranking out airplane engines for World War I. So technically, when you stomp the gas in a BMW, you're keeping the spirit of aviation alive, just without the wings or free pretzels. By the way, BMW stands for Bayerische Motorenwerke, or Bavarian Motor Works, which sounds very official. Their first car didn't roll out until 1928 with the BMW 315, a modest little ride that wasn't exactly poster material, but got the ball rolling. The real turning point came in the 1960s with the BMW 1500. This wasn't just another sedan, this was the start of their obsession with mixing everyday practicality, and I dare you not to smile when you drive this. That car laid down the blueprint for decades of sporty, well-balanced machines. Suddenly, BMW wasn't just building cars, they were creating experiences, the kind of thing that made driving feel less like commuting and more like an event. Fast forward to today, and BMW's lineup is basically a buffet. From the nimble 2 Series for entry-level fun to the luxurious 7 Series that makes you feel like a CEO, even if you're just late for a dentist appointment. And let's not forget their electric push, the i4 and iX, prove you can ditch gas without ditching goosebumps. Somehow they've managed to balance luxury, performance, and cutting-edge tech all at once. Oh, and about those turn signals, yes, I will still clown on that because it's still optional equipment, apparently. Mercedes-Benz. If BMW is the hotshot younger sibling, Mercedes is the wise old grandparent of the car world. Why? Because they literally invented the automobile. Back in 1885, Carl Benz unveiled the Benz patent motorwagen, basically a horseless carriage that started the entire industry. And over at Daimler, Gottlieb Daimler was cooking up revolutionary engines of his own. Eventually, these two forces merged in 1926 to form Mercedes-Benz, and from then on, it's been nothing but automotive royalty. The name Mercedes itself has a fun backstory. It came from Emil Jelinek, a businessman obsessed with Daimler's cars who insisted they be named after his daughter, Mercedes. Imagine being so into a brand that you convince them to name the whole thing after your kid. That's dedication. From the beginning, Mercedes built their reputation on obsessive engineering perfection. These cars weren't just reliable, they were luxury wrapped in steel, designed to outlive your mortgage. Today, Mercedes covers everything from the compact A-Class, aka Starter Benz, to the legendary S-Class, which has set the bar for flagship sedans for decades. Every other brand copies it, and then pretends they thought of the idea first. Modern Mercedes hasn't slowed down either. Their EQS shows they can go electric without losing their luxury crown. It's basically a spaceship with massage seats. But let's be real, true fun comes from sound. And then you've got AMG, which takes already powerful cars and cranks them up to good luck keeping your license. On top of that, the Maybach sub-brand is so over the top it makes regular Mercedes look humble. Leather from rare cows, hand-polished wood, and back seats that feel like first-class airplane pods. It's the kind of car you buy when you want your driver to be more comfortable than you are. Audi. If BMW is the driver's car and Mercedes is the luxury king, Audi is the nerdy cousin who shows up to family gatherings with the latest gadgets and makes everyone else feel outdated. Those 4 rings on the grille, they're not just for style. They represent 4 companies that merged in 1932. Audi, Horch, DKW, and Wanderer. Sounds like the lineup for a questionable boy band, but somehow it worked. The fun fact here, the name Audi came from August Horch, the founder. When legal issues stopped him from using his own last name, he got clever. He translated Horch, which means listen in German, into Latin. And boom, Audi. It's like if Elon Musk got sued and decided to rename Tesla Audire. Audi's glow-up moment came in 1980 with the legendary Quattro. Suddenly, Audi wasn't just another German car company. They were rally champions, carving up dirt roads with all-wheel drive tech that felt like cheating. Overnight, Audi became the brand you bought if you wanted to laugh at bad weather. Snowstorm, ice, mud. Quattro just shrugged and said, "Try me." Fast forward, and Audi cemented itself as the high-tech brand in Germany. Their virtual cockpit replaced boring old gauges with full digital displays before anyone else thought it was cool. Their Matrix LED headlights are so smart, they can dim individual beams so you don't blind oncoming drivers, which frankly is better driver etiquette than most people have. Today their lineup stretches from the humble A3 to the high roller A8, with EVs like the e-tron GT proving they can make electric cars that are both sleek and ridiculously fun. Audi's whole vibe is luxury meets tech, the kind of car you buy if you want your sedan to feel like it has more processors than your laptop. Porsche. Ah yes, Porsche, the one and only. Look, I'll be honest with you, I could talk about every German car brand out there, but Porsche, that's the crown jewel. Everything else just kind of exists. Porsche is the brand that turned driving into an art form. Ferdinand Porsche kicked things off in 1931, but when the first true Porsche, the 356, rolled out in 1948, it was game over. Light, beautiful, perfectly balanced. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement. We're better than you, and we know it. And then came the 911 in 1963, the legend, the icon, the car that made every other sports car manufacturer cry into their design sketches. On paper it shouldn't even work, the engine is sitting way in the back like it's hitching a ride. Physics should have cancelled this thing, but Porsche said, nah, trust us, and somehow created the most beloved sports car in history. 60 years later, everyone is still trying to build a 911 killer. Spoiler alert, the 911 is still here. The killer's buried. Every version of the 911 is a love letter to driving. The Carrera feels like pure adrenaline. The GT3 RS, that's a street legal race car, basically a legal loophole on 4 wheels. And the Turbo S? Don't even get me started. That thing launches so hard you'll swear you left your organs in the driveway. And people said Porsche would lose its soul with SUVs and EVs. Wrong. The Cayenne and Macan basically said, hey, why not take the kids to school and gap a BMW on the way? The Panamera proved 4 doors can still make your heart race, and the Taycan? Oh, the Taycan. That's Porsche walking into the EV room, dropping the mic, and reminding everyone they don't just play the game, they are the game. Let's be real. Other car brands make products. Porsche makes dreams. Every Porsche, from the oldest 356 to the latest 911, has one job: to make you fall in love with driving. And me? Yeah, I'm glazing, even though the cheapest model cost my entire house. Opel, the practical uncle at the German car family reunion. Not the flashy one, not the rich one, just the guy who shows up with a reliable casserole. Founded way back in 1862, Opel didn't even start with cars. Nope, they were sewing machines and bicycles before deciding, let's try cars. By 1899, they were in the game, and in 1929, General Motors swooped in and basically made them the European cousin of Chevy. For decades, Opel was all about being reliable, affordable, and just German enough to brag about without having to sell your kidneys. The Opel GT in the 60s, that was their, look, we can be sporty too moment, a kind of baby Corvette that proved fun, didn't have to cost Porsche money. Fast forward to today, Opel belongs to Stellantis. Yeah, the giant car Pokemon collection that owns everything from Dodge to Peugeot. Their cars, like the Astra, Corsa, and the electric Corsa E, are basically budget-friendly German engineering. Let's be honest, nobody's bedroom wall had an Opel poster on it. But if you wanted solid build quality and efficiency without entering a lifelong finance plan, Opel was your brand. Not glamorous, not groundbreaking, but dependable, and sometimes that's exactly what people need. Opel is the sensible shoes of German cars, not stylish, but they'll never let you down. And then there's Maybach, the exact opposite of Opel. If Opel is sensible shoes, Maybach is a diamond-encrusted Gucci loafer. Founded in 1909 by Karl Maybach, this brand was always about excess. Back in the day, they were building cars for royalty and industrial tycoons, with V12 engines and interiors nicer than most people's homes. Their pre-war Zeppelin model wasn't just a car, it was basically a rolling palace. Fast forward, Maybach disappeared for a while, only to be resurrected by Mercedes in 2002 as the "we're richer than Rolls-Royce" brand. It didn't quite work out at first, but Mercedes was smart. Now Maybach exists as the ultra-luxury trim for their top models. The S-Class Maybach isn't just a longer Mercedes. No, it's a completely different experience. Rear seats that feel like first-class airline pods, wood so polished you can see your future in it, and leather that probably came from cows raised on yoga retreats. Then you've got the Maybach GLS, because even SUVs apparently deserve caviar-level luxury. Maybach's whole identity today is simple. It's for the 1% of the 1%. This isn't about getting from A to B. This is about making sure B knows you have more money than they do. Gumpert. Gumpert is what happens when a race engineer decides that normal cars are just too boring. Roland Gumpert, a former Audi sport mastermind, launched the brand in 2004 with one goal: to build something so extreme it made supercars look like commuter sedans. The result was the Gumpert Apollo, a machine that looked like it escaped from a science fiction movie and accidentally got license plates slapped on. The Apollo wasn't about comfort or style, it was about terrifying speed. With a lightweight carbon fiber body and an Audi V8 pushing out over 700 horsepower, it wasn't designed for dinner dates, unless your idea of romance involves track helmets and G-forces. Every vent, wing and sharp angle was there to squeeze out performance, not to look pretty. It was raw, unapologetic, and very much a car for people who thought Ferraris were too soft. Of course, when you build cars this extreme, it's not the easiest way to keep a business afloat. Gumpert went bankrupt, rebranded a couple of times, Apollo Automobile, Gumpert Highways, and is now focused on developing electric supercars that try to capture that same barely legal race car spirit. The brand's legacy, though, is set. Gumpert represents the wild side of German engineering. The part that doesn't care about luxury or practicality, only about going faster than you probably should. Wiesmann is one of those rare brands that feels more like a passion project than a car company. Founded in 1988 by brothers Martin and Friedhelm Wiesmann, the idea was simple: build modern sports cars that looked like they drove straight out of the 1960s, but with German engineering hiding under the retro curves. The result was a lineup of cars that looked like classic British roadsters, but with BMW engines and modern performance tucked neatly inside. Models like the MF3 and MF4 turned heads because they didn't look like anything else on the road. They had that vintage style, but they weren't just pretty ornaments. These cars could actually keep up with serious sports machines, and since each one was hand-built, owning a Wiesmann was basically joining an exclusive club of enthusiasts who wanted something unique. The company hit financial trouble in 2014 and production stopped, but Wiesmann returned in 2020 with a new vision, Project Thunderball. This all-electric sports car manages to stay true to the company's retro-inspired design while adding modern EV performance, which in my opinion doesn't hit the same. Today Wiesmann is still a niche player, but that's the appeal. It's for people who look at a Porsche and say, too common, and want something handcrafted, rare, and completely different. In a world of mass-produced cars, Wiesmann is still chasing the romance of driving, and doing it on their own terms. If you had fun with this, feel free to hit the like button, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Make sure to hype the video as well. Drop your next car video ideas in the comments, I'll probably check it out. Thanks for checking into my first video, and I'll see you in the next one.